Straight live. All righty, we are finally back. Let me fix the camera there a little bit. All right, so Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising. Welcome to our live version number 2. And I'm sure the majority of people that were here have already realized that we crashed, we burned, and now we're going to try it again. So I don't know if anybody will actually notice that we are live back again or not. But we are here, and we will continue on and do the show. But thank you to everybody for your patience. For whatever reason, the internet went into a complete hiccup, shut itself off, shut the internet down. And then oddly enough, my entire Ethernet cable decided it was going to stop working randomly in the middle of it too.
Hi, Tara. Chica. I'm just getting in.
Good. We just managed to even get back on. Yeah, we've had the biggest, largest technical snafu of all times. Boy, we said it was the hottest day out there, and the internet said it turned right off.
Yeah.
I guess Mother Nature did not want us talking smack about her today. She absolutely took it out on us. Wow.
But yeah, it is. I just saw a thing where in San Antonio it was 108 today, which is the hottest it's been since 2013. So.
Yeah, it was super, super, super hot today. But we're back. We're good. And hopefully everything stays proper and stays stable.
Yes.
So, and now we are way, way behind because we are almost 30 minutes late getting going here properly today. So, I've got notes today. I wanted to make sure we did everything.
I've been installing a new computer. My brain is trying. Yeah, he's like, I don't know what's wrong. I'm like, you're asking the wrong person, because I still laugh when people at work bring me their phones and say they don't work and I have to fix them.
Well, you know, when this happens just normally throughout the day, and it does occasionally, we live way out in the country. Internet's not perfect out here by any means. Normally, it's not a big deal. I reset it, go about my business. But when it happens right when the live starts, it's kind of like instant panic mode. Trying to rush it, fix it, get back online, because you know people are waiting.
Yeah. Well, Sheikah says we're not late. We were waiting for her.
Perfect. You know what? That works. We're going to go with that as the reason and the excuse for tonight. But we are going to talk about some cruising stuff because we got cruising stuff to actually talk about today. Got several different things to actually talk about. Hopefully everything's still loaded up in the system here. But what do you think? I'm wondering if the folks on the Carnival Vista this past Monday, what if they were having a nail biting type of situation?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Would you have been?
Oh, yeah.
So you guys know last week the Carnival Vista had engine trouble. The Eastern itinerary was completely taken away. They had to go to a Western itinerary over propulsion problems. Now Carnival said, hey, we got this. This is going to be our solution. We are going to go back to Port Canaveral early. We're going to get there at 3:30 in the morning. We're going to fix it during the daytime. You guys still come aboard the ship. And sometime later in that night, we're going to get out of port. Now, we've heard this from cruise lines before, though, where they say, oh, don't worry, we got you. And next thing you know, they are disembarking passengers going, we've had to cancel the cruise. So these folks get on the Vista, and I'm wondering kind of how they felt as it got later and a little bit later and a little bit later. And they're wondering how much longer before, I guess, the hammer drops. But they did get the Vista fixed, and the Vista got out, made it to Half Moon Cay. So I'm glad Vista beat the odds this time.
So James is here, says hello, Chris and Tiffany, and thank you for the update. 4 weeks left of physical therapy before he goes back to work.
Awesome.
I did read the comments before we.
Yeah, we did see that you were here before, James. We did see that Linda was here.
Nelly,
and
Roxanne
was here. There were several people that were here. Unfortunately, our system said, ha, 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 ha. We will torment and tease everybody for this week. But now here's my favorite story this week. I love cruising. You love cruising. We all love cruising. But have you ever considered or thought it was a good idea that maybe we should commit fraud to go cruising?
No.
No?
No.
We shouldn't rack up $20,000 in charges, basically fraud, to go cruising.
No.
Well, guess what? That is exactly what a couple has done. Okay. They have racked up $20,000 just for cruise vacations. And the fraud part of how they committed this credit card fraud is they went ahead and they opened credit cards in the name of their children, according to the story, in order to pay for their cruising. How about that?
Unfortunately, they're not the first people to do that, and they will not be the last.
I get that, but they didn't even tell their kids. I guess their kids somehow found out this was on their credit report, and they asked their parents about it. And of course, their parents, no, it wasn't us. We didn't do it. A little more investigation. It turns out these were for cruises that their parents had taken. And they asked their parents, hey, what's going on here? And finally, I guess they fess up to it and say, okay, it was us. We did open credit cards in your name in order to cruise, in order to go take these wonderful cruise vacations. And we fully intended to pay these off, but they got really expensive, so we just stopped paying. And then, according to the story now, because of course we weren't there, but the parents just tell the kids, your best bet's probably just go ahead and file for bankruptcy. You imagine telling your children, we've ruined your credit, file for bankruptcy. We had vacations to take.
Like I said, it's not the first time that's happened. Now, it's the first time I've heard it for vacations, but yeah, sadly, it does happen.
Yeah, they did it to go cruising.
James says it's a sad, sad world out there. Nellie says, hi, I am back. I didn't know we were back. We just got back.
We just managed to get back on just a few minutes ago.
James says it's too hot in Texas. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
I said it was 104 right at 6 o'clock, 103 still at 6 o'clock. It is freaking miserable. They said we have a 20% chance of rain, but
there's not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, there's not a cloud in the sky. So I'm pretty much assuming that that's not going to happen for us. I think we are still a couple of weeks away from relief. All right, now some big news, because Carnival has been touting this all week long. They are beginning to release the 2026 and 2027 cruises. Yay! We have been waiting for it for months and months and months and months so we can determine the group cruise. And here's the however part. So far, they've only released cruises for Alaska and for some over in Europe, and a couple of journey cruises so far. So while they have begun, they have not released the ones we are looking for yet. I did check this afternoon just to see, and nothing yet. So hopefully, though, they've at least begun the process. They'll continue the process, and we should get something here, fingers crossed, something to really look at by next week. But I did see a cruise on there that was
Chica says I was excited, but it was only Europe and Alaska.
I was too, and I didn't see it yet. I went over on Carnival's page and looked for it because John Heald talked about it on his page. But there was a Journeys cruise on the Carnival Miracle that will be leaving Seattle when she is done with the Alaska season on September 26th of 2026, going through the Panama Canal and coming back to Galveston. I did tell Tiffany, I said, well, that's just a one-way flight. We get on the ship, brings us right home. That could be a possible consideration for a cruise, not the group cruise, but just for a cruise to look at in 2026. I was pretty excited about that. So hopefully, though, we'll hear something by next week. Hopefully, they're not going to drag this out in anticipation. But it's a cruise line. They may be putting Alaska out as a feeler. Let's see how people start grabbing these up. Let them grab up several of those first, and then we'll slowly roll it out. I don't know how they're thinking.
Nellie says Princess realized their Alaska a couple weeks ago, or released their Alaska a couple weeks ago, and that new Star Princess had some great prices.
Yeah, I haven't looked at their prices, but yeah, Princess released their Alaska. That seems to be what Carnival is doing too. So hopefully we'll hear some more out of them. But I'm checking it daily. I am over on Carnival's website checking that all of the time. All right, now some other cruise news has gone this week. As I said, with my throat being messed up and having a hard time talking, I have not done a whole lot of cruise news. So I actually do have a few stories to catch up on. And our wonderful friends, the Protesters. Love Protesters. Well, they are at it again over in Amsterdam. They have gone in and once again locked themselves to the locks, handcuffed themselves to it, and have interfered with cruising. And so far, we've had 2 cruise ships delayed getting into port. 1 cruise ship was forced to dock outside of port, and Ambassador Cruise Lines just said, oh, hell no, we ain't even going to go at all. They just simply canceled their itinerary over this mess that these people are doing. And I'll show you guys these wonderful folks right here. There's the locks right there. They handcuff themselves to the locks. I don't know really what the significance of the yellow smoke is. They're there to talk about pollution and environmental impacts of cruise ships. Now, twice the police have had to come out there and break it up, pull them off of there to allow the cruise ships to come in. And they said, well, this should stop happening because we have a plan now. We have a plan where we're going to make sure we are out there and stop these types of protests from interfering with cruise ships. But shouldn't that have been the plan the very first time it ever happened? And I think here's probably my biggest question. This is and granted, it's in Amsterdam, so maybe their rules are different. But this is a lock that controls the flow of maritime traffic in and out of the port. Is this not a secured facility? I mean, is there not some kind of access control that these people can simply stroll in, walk onto the top of the lock, and handcuff themselves to it? No security, nobody checks, nobody says, hey, what are you doing here? Nothing? I would think that that was an important aspect for the city, because something happens to those locks that prevents traffic in and out, whether it's cruise ships or not, that would be something that would be guarded, it would be secured, would have some type of barrier that just random Joe Blow, hey, I feel like protesting today, could just walk on and do it.
Nellie says they keep protesting because they don't get in any actual trouble over it.
Yeah, and I get that. I did see where they said in Amsterdam that protesting was a positive part of the community for people to say what they're doing. I get that. I don't have a problem with protesting, but again, is this lock not a secured facility?
You would think that it would be.
That, I guess, would probably be my biggest question is, that there would be some type of security, law enforcement, a gate to simply prevent Joe Blow from walking right across it.
James says, I'm the same way, Chris, and they've done it 2 weeks in a row. Where's the security?
Exactly. Now, I mean, and it could simply be that in Amsterdam, security on the lock is not a thing. But I know important secured things here. I mean, you can't just walk down to the docks here in America. You got to go through customs and security, and before you're even getting anywhere near a ship and some water and access points. So I don't know.
Anthony on the Move is here, says hello, everyone.
Trying to read my own notes here, and I have no idea what that
Put your glasses on.
What does that even say?
Disney is being sued.
No, above that.
Terminal 16.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a big one. All right, so I know we have been talking about it here. I can't even read my own handwriting without my glasses on. But I put my glasses on, but then the light, see, it makes shinies on the... Anyway. Terminals, I got all confused. All right, so we have been talking here the last couple of weeks of the brand new cruise terminal coming to Galveston, Texas. It is going to be terminal number 16. It is going to be the new home for MSC Cruise Lines in 2026, and they have officially broken ground on that. And we got a couple little videos. This right here is where Terminal 16 is going to be. You see right now, it is just a pile of dirt. They had a celebration out there, a groundbreaking ceremony. They got some concept art out there. But this is where Terminal 16 is going to be. It is going to be between where Carnival is now and where World Caribbean is now. A lot, pretty close to the Royal Caribbean side, but that's exactly. It's going to be
Back up a little bit.
the groundbreaking ceremony here.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Pile of dirt on another pile of dirt. They didn't actually break anything, and then they had some other concept art. And I'll show you guys some pictures of the actual terminal here in just a moment. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty nice in here. I'll go ahead and show you guys. This is some concept art of what it is going to look like. And it looks pretty modern. It's got some green spaces in it. Pretty open, pretty spacious. It looks like it's going to be, I mean, really, really good sized in there. But of course, you know, some of these large MSC ships do hold a lot of people, so it's got to be able to move a lot of folks through there. But that is MSC new terminal number 16 in Galveston. I see James over there.
James is laughing at you. Can't even read your own notes.
Not without my glasses, no. But yeah, so that is coming. I'm really, really excited for Terminal 16. I'm excited for the new cruise lines it's going to bring. With MSC coming, we got Region 7 Seas coming. Who else knows what we are going to get?
James says that's awesome and real good for Galveston.
Heck yeah, that's real good for Galveston. I love it. I mean, it is just more cruising opportunities, especially considering Port Canaveral was talking about building another cruise terminal over there. They've been discussing it recently. However, they actually voted that down, and a new cruise terminal will not be built in Port Canaveral. But that's because there's some political game playing going on over there. Yeah, so the Department of Transportation, I believe it is, and some folks over there want them to build a liquid natural gas facility over there to help the aerospace industry. And they feel that that is more important and more vital for that area than a cruise terminal. And so they did threaten Port Canaveral's funding if they didn't agree with them, according to the story. So looks like, at least at this time, no new cruise terminal for Port Canaveral, but we are getting one in Galveston.
We'll take it.
We will take it. Yeah, and honestly, any cruise ships that were hoping to get a new terminal and sail out of Port Canaveral, if you'd like to come on over, we'll squeeze you in somewhere. I am pretty sure we can squeeze you guys in. And finally, one more good story of the week. Disney Cruise Lines. Disney is getting sued again. I wonder how many times a month Disney gets sued, honestly. I've looked to see the number of times the cruise lines are getting sued. There are constantly lawsuits against cruise lines.
That's any big corporation.
Well, we talk about cruise lines, and of course, we talk about Disney just for you.
I know.
But Disney is getting sued. And they're getting sued by a woman who says she was trampled by a crowd, and it is Disney's fault because they do not properly control the crowds inside those parks. And I've been in Disney. We have been in Disney when it is crowded, when it is busy. Yeah, I'd like to see anybody control those crowds when they are trying to get from point A to point B. You know what I mean?
Especially at rope drop.
Yeah, especially the first thing in the morning at rope drop. So
or even now, we did never do this, but I've seen the crowds after the fireworks or the night parade. It's bad, and if you're not careful and you fall, yeah, you could get stepped on. But
all right, she says, are they adding any new itineraries? Again, nothing new past the beginning of 2026 that we're aware of at this time. I haven't seen anything new out of Galveston yet. Majority of everything that goes out of Galveston, honestly, is a lot of Western Caribbean cruises because those are your 5 and 7 night cruises, 4, 5, and 7 nights. But they are starting to pick up every year. They've picked up longer journeys, 8, 9, and 10-day cruises out of Galveston that are heading the other way. Those have been successful. They have been full. And so I do expect the cruise lines to continue along with that and possibly do some new offerings. I think it took them for so long. I think they were concerned that if they offered longer cruises, more expensive cruises out of Galveston, I don't know, I'm guessing they weren't sure how people were going to react to it. People jumped on it. They loved it. They wanted it. They want more. I expect we'll see more out of the cruise lines.
James says, how much room do they have to build there in Galveston?
I guess really there is still room down there. Now, what part of that room is available that they could build on or is permitted, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if there would ever be a 5th or 6th cruise port down there. I suspect, honestly, if it was me, that they may at some point renovate the 2 original ones they had down there to bring them bigger, a little more modern. I know they did some renovations on 25, which is where the Jubilee docks.
Mm-hmm.
But I would suspect that those could be the next ones. But you never know.
And California Linda wants to know what my shirt says. It says, I'm done adulting. Let's go to Disney.
Of course it says Disney on it.
There you go.
It should say, I'm done adulting. Let's go cruising.
Disney cruising.
Of course. Of course.
Nellie says that's the only bad thing about Galveston, the same circle route.
It's getting better. It is getting better. But I understand from the cruise line's point of view that, you know, you can only get so far in 5 days. You can only get so far in 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I completely get why that has to be that way. Maybe at some point in time we could see some new cruise ports along that route, maybe. You know, some type of little variations in there or something like that they could come up with. But honestly, look, I'm going to tell you the truth. At the end of the day, I could go to Cozumel every month and I'm okay.
Yeah. California Linda says, cool shirt. Thank you.
You and your Disney collection. How many Disney shirts do you own?
More than work shirts?
Because you could, in theory, wear a different Disney shirt every day of the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But this one, I like this one because this is the one that my work mom gave me when she found out we were going to Disney for the first time. And I wore it the first day of Disney. So let's all go to Singapore Disney Adventure. That ship looks beautiful. Yes, let's go.
Oh, I haven't shown you the pictures of that, and I don't have any to show right now. But I did see some pictures of the Disney Adventure, and apparently they're going to build almost like a park in the middle of the ship.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like Royal Caribbean has their Central Park area.
Mm-hmm.
But the concept pictures for the Disney Adventure, it looks huge. It's almost like they just hollowed out the entire center section of area, if the pictures are right, to put this park area in there with like a stage and things like that. I'll just show you the pictures later. I should have uploaded one, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be really awesome. But that's the ship that's only going to be over there in Asia.
With that.
You're okay with that?
Yeah.
I figured you would be.
Tilla says the Dream is going to dry dock in 26 February, and when she comes back, it'll be a transatlantic in late March, 15 days.
You can't tell her things like that. You can't tell her things like that. She's like, what? I have to sail across the ocean and just stay on the ship for a whole week and do Disney?
Attila says the next one after that is a 7-day to Jamaica and Cayman.
Y'all gonna have me cursing under my breath
Disney
later.
ship going to Asia looks beautiful. I bet it does. I think all the Disney ships are pretty.
It does. It does.
James says yes, because I really like the Eastern Caribbean or one that goes through the Panama Canal.
I'm telling you, James, the one that caught my biggest attention right now, and that could change, is September the 26th of 2026. The Carnival Miracle leaves Seattle and goes down through the Panama Canal and drops us off in Galveston. And it's not on the cruise page yet. I expect that one's probably going to come out with the Caribbean drop because that's where it ends. That's at least what I'm guessing. But that's the one I am kind of looking at. It stops in Cabo San Lucas. Let me phrase that. The 2025 one, because the 2026 itinerary is not out yet. But the 2025 does the same trip, and it goes to like Cabo San Lucas, stop in Costa Rica, goes all the way through the Panama Canal, stops in Cartagena, and then drops back off in Galveston. So,
And Attila meant Carnival Dream, not Disney.
see, you had Tiffany all excited thinking it was the Disney dream. Because she was thinking, ooh, I get to go across the ocean on a Disney ship.
But this new Disney Singapore ship has so many lands, and they are only 4 or 5 night back to back. Would definitely have to be done.
Yeah, and so my understanding with that Disney Adventure ship is it's supposed to be in conjunction with the theme park for land and sea packages. It's only going to stay right around in that area. So that would make sense that it's only going to be 3 and 4 nights working in conjunction with the parks. That's how the land sea packages for the most part work in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually a 3 and 4 night cruise and then a couple nights, like 4 nights in the park. So I think they're going with a similar type concept, but that ship does look pretty.
James says he would do that. Has not been to the Mexican Riviera.
Me neither, which is why that caught my attention, because the Mexican Riviera side, any stop in Costa Rica, and then through the Panama Canal, and the Miracle's a small Spirit class ship, which means she can go through the old locks. So
Millie says if she's going that far, she's going to do they're going to do a back to back.
oh, I would too. Now, I've been trying to talk Tiffany into it, but I don't know that Tiffany could ever get enough time off for work for it. But the Carnival Miracle, prior to that repositioning cruise, is doing a 9 nights in Alaska and then repositioning. So I keep trying to tell Tiffany we fly out to Seattle, do the Alaska cruise, stay on board for a back-to-back, reposition, then she can buy all the souvenirs she wants in Alaska, because then they'll drop us off right here in Galveston. We don't have to fly home.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna let me off for a month.
It's only 25 days.
Again, I don't think work's gonna let me off for a month. Because we gotta go up the day before or 2 days before. And then
Yes, it is in September of 2026. It's the last cruise of the Carnival Miracle in Alaska for 2026, and then a reposition back to Galveston for the Alaska, off the Alaska season. So the Miracle will be coming back. Now, this is what you tell work. You tell work you're going on an Alaska cruise. Okay. Then when the Alaska cruise is over, you tell them, well, let's see what happened was. Like that, right? And then you let them know, I have had to make alternate transportation to get back to Texas. Unfortunately, the only thing available was this ship. And of course, they have to go through the Panama Canal. So I will be there in 16 more days. You tell them like that.
Attila says, man, that's a cool idea. But yeah, 25 days. I can't get off work that long either, Tiffany.
I did tell Tiffany that if the situation came down to it, I would suffer and I would go alone. That I would take one for the team. Because I care about you like that.
Mm-hmm.
That I would take one for the team.
James says that's he could do one like that, a back to back like that. Now Nellie says work on ship, and if what you do has to be done in office, let them make you do something on computer. Work remote.
You know, that is a good idea, except for, and I've heard this from Carnival, lots of people on Carnival, the internet is good enough. The internet is fast enough, but if you have to connect through a VPN, that sometimes the internet on Carnival fights VPNs.
And Sheikah says, you're a good husband.
See, right? I am looking out for Tiffany by willing to take it for the team.
Just Tiffany and the puppies for 25 days. Sounds fun, right?
Anyone she possibly can. And she'll still make me take her.
California Linda asks, what Disney cruise will Tiffany
That's what I'm
take for
answering.
her team?
That's coming up in May. And I still am going to contend that I'm taking one for the team because I have to go in the Disney parks for a couple of days. That's me taking one for the team.
You like the Disney parks.
In all fairness, I do like the Disney parks, but I dislike the fact that they let other people in. Okay, if they would stop letting other people in the parks when I'm in there, then I would be okay.
We just need to find all the secret spots.
No, what we just need to do is be the first ones in and lock the gates behind us.
TJ Destinations is here. Hello, everybody.
Hello, welcome to the show. We are just talking about all things cruising. We're actually talking about which cruise is Tiffany going to go on that is Disney next. I said she's already scheduled, though. She is going on the Disney Wish.
Yes.
And then I have to, of course, suffer through the parks.
James says, I'll let you decorate my door again.
Believe me, if there was a way, Tiffany is right, her work would be less than cooperative in that particular situation. Otherwise, believe me, she would be there. Anything that Tiffany misses cruise-wise is not because she does not want to go on that cruise. So let's be all fair about it.
Yeah.
It's not like she's like, ooh, I don't want to go on that ship. Has said nobody ever. But yeah, so that's one of the itineraries though. That's kind of a
Where is the Wish up?
Canaveral. Yeah, that's Tiffany's 30th birthday present for next year. Plus 20. 30th birthday for next year. She is going to be going on the Disney Wish for 3 days. And then she is going into the park for a couple of days after that. She has picked her parks and all the places she wants to eat, or she's supposed to be picking some of the places she wants to eat. She's picked a few. Mm-hmm. And that is what we are doing specifically for her birthday next year. That's where she says, I want to go here.
Yep.
So she's going to get it.
All started with, what do you want for dinner?
That is true. Her entire birthday present did start off with the question of, what do you want for dinner? Which now makes me believe that I think us as guys, we are tricked by women.
At least because I really want to do Disney Destiny.
Because if I ask her, so what do you want for dinner? And then somehow she convinces me to book her a Disney trip. And I'm pretty sure I don't even know what I had for dinner, if anything. She may have said, I don't know, figure out your own food.
Working for Amazon like I do, I can build up my time to do that by September since I get to go back to work in 4 weeks. That's awesome. Oh, don't get me wrong. I've got the time to do it. They just won't allow it.
Tiffany works in HR. They need her there pretty consistently, it seems like. They call her on her days off, text her on her days off.
Which is perfectly fine.
I suggested she throw her phone away, but that's just me.
Nellie says, yes, we are doing Utopia back to back, and we have to go to Walt Disney World before that. Ugh.
Listen, Disney would be 100% truly a magical place on Earth. It's cool. It's awesome. But wow, they don't need to let 1 million people in the park. I mean, if it is so crowded that you are shoulder to shoulder simply trying to walk from one spot to the next, the magic is done gone. Okay? When all you smell is armpits and butt cracks, all right? What's the point of pumping bakery smells out on Main Street? all you can smell is Frank's behind. It's no. Okay. They need to pump out the smell of deodorant. But anyway, I'm digressing.
Yeah, you were. Sheikah says everyone else can take vacation but Tiffany.
Well, she takes vacations, but she's limited on the amount of time she can be gone at once, and certain times of the year she can't be gone. And so that creates a couple of additional challenges, and it makes it harder for us to get on some of the longer cruises. But I got her out there making best friends with some of the corporate and district level people. You know, that way she can ask them. He's got someone else trying to rope drop him. Rope drop is actually pretty easy, and you don't even have to run. We figured that out.
No.
You just know exactly where you're going for that very first thing you absolutely want to do in the park at rope drop. Stroll there, and you'll get right on.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that last time we were there. That Lightning Lane, which they were kind enough to bring back and get rid of Stupid Genie Plus. So, believe me, there's an entire group on Facebook and YouTube, and and I'll throw their name out there, but it's called the DFB Guide, and they actually talk a lot about food. It's mostly what they talk about, but they talk about rope drop, ride hacks, and things like that. So if you ever have to go to Disney parks, the DFB Guide, Facebook and YouTube, man, I use the heck out of them over there, and their information is good, it's current, and they update it all the time.
Sheikah says I have yet to take longer than a 10-day cruise. Utopia Factory is 3 and 4 night Coco Cay and Nassau. And James says same here, ready to try a longer.
Yeah, I've done a 9-night so far. That's the longest one I've been on so far. And
8 days, 7 days.
You did an 8-day. And the nice thing about that is if you're willing to chill, they're awesome. If you're looking for the go, I guess every minute of every day, they can wear you out.
Mm-hmm.
You can get tired. When we did the 8-day, it was very back when we first started cruising. It's like our second or third cruise. We went on that 8-day cruise. And at the time, we thought that was a little too long. But we also hadn't learned to chill out and relax and enjoy the fact that we were just out there cruising.
Mm-hmm.
And now 8-day, 9-day, boy, that's napping, that's sleeping, that's spending 45 minutes just watching water go by.
Yeah.
And happy as can be. And if you don't get to something, you just don't get to it.
California Linda says they prefer longer cruises. Sea days are great and port days are fun. Nellie says 10 days before my 5-night Mariner. I am excited, ready to relax. I'm excited for you.
I am too, because I want to go on that ship.
Dilly says I enjoyed my Alaskan cruise tour. 13 glorious nights.
Oh, 13 nights in Alaska. I admit our 7 in Alaska was not long enough. And I could have sailed and stared out the window for many more days.
Yeah.
Many more days.
Sheikah says she just doesn't like too many sea days in a row.
I didn't used to. And as long as it's broken up decently, I'm okay with taking naps for a couple of days. I honestly am. You get a balcony and just get a nice comfortable spot out there on that balcony, and it's nap time.
Yeah. We are looking forward to our 17-day Alaskan cruise next May.
What cruise line are y'all going on? I'm curious. And we were just talking about Alaska earlier that I'm ready to go back. We do want to go later in the season, though. We went in May last time. I want to go in September. see some different weathers, some different animal patterns and stuff as we get closer to the end. But I want to try, and we went on Princess last time and I loved it, but I want to try something different. I actually kind of want to do Holland America.
Yeah.
Holland America's been doing Alaska a very long time. They got it figured out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd kind of like to do Holland America.
Chica says she just doesn't know how to relax. Nellie says, ooh, what's your opinion? Same price Oasis to Aruba, Coco Cay, or Curse, I can't say that, or back-to-back Utopia. I feel like canceling Utopia. I want the ship, but the Oasis itinerary sounds awesome.
If you have never been to the ABC Islands and Utopia's going to same olds, if it was us,
We'd be canceling.
we'd be going to the ABC Islands. But that's us.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm perfectly okay with going on an older ship instead of the brand new ship to go to some cooler places. But that's just us. But I would probably go for the ABC Islands.
Looks like a lot of them are going. TJ has a 14-day Hawaiian cruise next October.
Oh, that is going to be an awesome cruise.
California Linda. I'm
James asking who they were cruising with.
Holland America.
That Nelly answer is asking us how.
TJ, are you going for mainland? Princess, first time for this extended itinerary.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, we did loved Princess in Alaska. They have the naturalist on board the ship. Princess did a stellar job on our Alaska cruise. Nothing but great things to say. I just would like to try a different one, I think, just to get a different opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But if I went to book and Princess was one of the best deals going to all the places, I would definitely book Princess. Because honestly, at the end of the day, again, this is just the way Tiffany and I cruise, but that International Cafe, that is a winner chicken dinner every time for me. And I can get a drink on board the ship 24/7, Princess Plus, Princess Premier. I like the way they do business.
James said, did a Hal cruise in 2015 and enjoyed it a lot. Very nice and relaxing. She's voting for the ABC Islands.
ABC Islands.
Nellie, I really want ABC, and the Utopia is interior cabin and ABC is open balcony, but always wanted ABC Islands. Sounds like you made up your mind.
I'm kind of thinking Utopia, interior cabin, probably doing what Nassau, Coco Cay type of thing. Hop over, get a balcony, go down to the ABC Islands, get that fresh Aruba wind on you. I don't know.
TJ says on Carnival Radiance from Long Beach to Hawaii and back. Chica, I'm doing a coastal cruise on Princess next May. My husband really likes it.
I did too. I mean, Princess has done us right each and every time. It was even the hiccup we had with Princess. They fixed it. They made it right. Their hotel director called me just to make sure I felt like it was done right. Princess, they did us good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Their ships were great. You had enough coffees on there to.
Oh, I definitely drank my fair share in coffee.
Drank your fair share in coffee, and it was a good trip. Food was good. Service was spectacular. Princess has got a lot of really good things going for them.
James says, I drink 24/7. That sounds good to me. Love my coffee and tea.
That Princess International Cafe.
And we had Princess Plus too, so that's why I was able to get my coffee.
Oh yeah, with the Princess Plus?
Yeah, we didn't pay for, we paid for the coffee, but we didn't pay for the coffee. California Linda, we agree with the International Cafe. The Grand Princess has 14 ports. Perhaps the group cruise will include the ABC Islands?
we're going to see. We're just waiting for those itineraries and see which one speaks to us. But I am not against, 100% not against the ABC Islands.
No.
It presents itself in a way that everybody is happy with. We very well could be going there. I would say yes to that.
Ellie says, TJ, that sounds awesome. When is that cruise? I go home, wave to Ohana, and come back to mainland. TJ's destination, that will be nice. I love the Radiance. I'd love to take Princess to Alaska, says Dilly.
I said Princess did really good. I want to try, I said we do want to try Holland America. Possibly even Celebrity. Now that Celebrity has one ship up in there, but the bigger the ship, though, can sometimes affect how far they can get up into the fjords, how much ice flow and other things can affect them the bigger they are. So kind of plays a part in my mind too.
Ellie says the changes they are doing to Princess with specialty included sounds great.
Yeah, the new Princess Premier, all the specialty restaurants you want. So you can eat specialty restaurants every day. Unlimited Wi-Fi on multi-devices. Of course, it comes with the unlimited drink package and something Princess has done, which is remove the level, the 15 drink maximum, but only on Princess Premier. And of course, the gratuities that come with it, the pictures. You get your medallion sent to you for free. Of course, you get the desserts. You love those gelatos and things like that. We had Princess Plus, which is the one down, and it was best cruising decision we ever made.
Yeah.
Totally worth it for us. Just the gratuities, the internet, and I could get a drink 24/7. Won me right there. So
The coffee cup.
yeah, but that was part of your drink package, and room service is free, things like that. So no, I like what Princess does.
Sheikah says Celebrity is nice. James says, hey, you guys pick the cruise and I will go. Ellie says we are going on Beyond in May.
Yeah, the Beyond is going to be over there.
Sheikah says I have done Alaska twice on Celebrity. And TJ Destinations, October 2025, Maui, Honolulu, Kauai, Hilo, and Ensenada.
Right, because you still have to have that full
Mhm.
report. And so they'll hit a stop in Mexico on the way back up. No, there's some nice Hawaii ones too. I think the Carnival Legend is going to be doing, I think it's the Legend, I could be wrong. I think the Legend might be doing Hawaii, or might be the Spirit. When they leave Alaska, they're going to jet over and hit up some Hawaii action on their repositioning. So there's some good and interesting cruises coming up, and now I got Alaska on the brain. I got the ABC Islands on the brain. But yeah, once they release anything for the group cruise, we're going to pick something good, though.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be something good. It's not going to be Nassau. I'm not looking for Nassau. I'm not looking for anything like that. I want ABC Islands, or I want Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Croix. It's going to be something good. It's going to be something Eastern, and it's not going to be something that's going to have 12 cruise ships there when we get there. You could throw a rock and hit a cruise ship going to Nassau. That's not what we're going to be looking for. So
TJ says I live in SoCal, so jumping on the Radiance, or you say that name because
the Forensic.
And Panorama is easy for me.
That's Long Beach.
Yeah. Tilly says, ooh, I did Celebrity on Millennium
In Alaska.
Alaska, wonderful and good food. Sheikah says, yes, let's do it.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna pick something good. We've had so much waiting to pick this dang cruise out. The last thing we're gonna do is pick some garbage. And don't get me wrong, I will take a cruise to Nassau next week. But for this cruise, we're gonna go someplace good. we're going to go someplace that's worth talking about later on. And I want to go places that we've just never been to before.
Heard the Millennium is a nice ship.
That's a celebrity ship. So yeah. So I'm thinking it's going to land one or two ways: ABC Islands or something, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands, down in that areas, down there. Pretty nice, crystal clear waters. Brand new fun experiences sailing out of Florida. I think that's probably where we're going to get the most opportunities for an itinerary that everybody likes.
Yes.
And we'll check multiple cruise lines. I know everybody had originally, when we voted on this, most people had voted for Carnival Cruise Lines, but we'll take a look and see what other cruise lines are going to be doing those particular itineraries and what the benefits of taking some of those cruises might be.
Yeah. We'll get it all wrapped up in a nice little package for everybody.
Yes. And then we'll create a group, we'll get everybody booked, and we will get everybody set and going. For those that want to book with the group, and of course, anybody can make their own reservations or use whomever they like to assist them with their reservations, of course. And we've had several offers. Actually, recently, I got some emails this last week of folks that are willing to help us make sure that we get everything done, processed, and set up correctly. And I kind of get it. They asked about being a travel agent last week, and I was a little iffy, and I was a little off on it, I think, a little bit. And I don't think I really explained why as well as I should have. And I got some emails and we had some back and forth about it. It's not that I don't like being a travel agent. The parent company that I do work for, I think they could have done a lot better job in the way that they get people set up and they get way people going. Luckily, I'd been doing the cruise news, involved in cruising, taking cruises and stuff when I started. So I had a good knowledge base to build from. I'm not building from scratch, but they do throw people out there that have never even been on a cruise before and say, hey, watch this video, you're good to go. That bugged me a little bit. And this is just a personal pet peeve. I worked for corporations, several different big corporations in my lifetime, and people's personal security, their information is a really big deal, PCI. And I personally think that there is a lot of opportunity out there for travel agencies not having to go through any third-party ones, which I don't like, to provide a more secure option for people to pay their deposits and make payments on their cruises versus, okay, just tell me your credit card number. And you're hoping that person that you're reading it to and is punching it in the computer is running any type of security, VPNs, doing their best to keep your information safe in a wonderful wide world of fraud and identity theft and things like that.
Or the travel agent
who just runs off and swipes your stuff. And Tiffany Banks, I think. No. That was a different lady. That was the one that had her cruise taken by identity theft. But things like that. So that's what bugs me a little bit about the travel industry more than anything. I'm always concerned about people's security of their banking information, their credit cards, their payments, and things like that, which is why I always preach, if you do have a travel agent, you use one, as soon as you make a payment, you should be able to go onto that cruise line's website, log in, and see your cruise. That's why I preach that so much.
James wants to know if we're going to have shirts made up so that we can wear them on day one. Of course we are. We already have somebody working on that.
Yep, and we have designers, volunteers to help with those designs and things like that. So, we're going to have it all. If everything goes what we've been talking about, we're going to have contests, door decorating contests. We will have cruise shirts available. Probably going to put some goodie bags together for everybody getting on board the ship that's going to be in the group. None of this stuff. Now, this next part is not confirmed at all because it is going to depend on the cruise line and what we can get from them. But like if we do an actual group and we book it as a group through the cruise lines, we can sometimes get extra amenities on board the ship, mostly even the opportunity for a private gathering, a private party where we can all come together, hang out, and not have the rest of the ship with us, at least as some opportunities, make arrangements to maybe get everybody sat as close as possible in a certain section of the dining room, working with the maitre d's on board and things like that. None of that, of course, is guaranteed until we're actually working it, but that's some of the things that we are looking for. Yeah, this isn't going to just be, hi, everybody's here. Okay, cool. See y'all in a week. We're going to have fun. And
no bar crawls.
those that wish to participate in things like bar crawls absolutely can.
We won't.
We won't. Well, we won't necessarily be drinking enough to, I guess, be bar crawling. We'll be bar, man, look at them down there. The heck are they doing? In a present sort of way. So, yes, there's there's a whole lot of plans, and believe me, we've had a whole lot of, and we're going to have a whole lot of participation from folks that are participating. I keep saying participating. Anyway, it's almost like a committee of people that are jumping in to help out, which, thank God. You don't want to leave it just to me. There'll be 3 of us wearing shirts. We'll be missing 6 people. And Tiffany will be staying in a whole other room and bar crawling. So Tiffany will be calling me, I'm over here on this Disney ship. Where are y'all at?
If there happens to be one there.
See?
And they happen to let me on.
So, yeah, I plan for it to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot of fun. I have big ideas in my head, big plans of how I would like for it to go. So if we can get maybe, 60% of that out, we should be pretty good. But I think at the end of the day, as a group, what's going to make it the most amount of fun is everybody just laughing, joking, finally in person.
Yes. Chica said yes. T-shirts are a must.
Yep, and I've got some, as we get closer, I said someone is going to do some preliminary designs for us, and we'll have some stuff to pick from. And if we get multiple options, we'll throw them up and we'll vote. Because what I'm thinking I'm going to do too, and this is just going to be as we get a little further into it, I will probably pick one day a week and put out a specific group cruise video. It'll just be group cruise updates and things like that, where people that are just want to be in the group cruise, participate, are going to go on it and stuff. And we'll have a separate video that we just take everything out of. It'll just be like an information exchange. Plus, of course, everybody can reach out and contact. And I know not everybody's on Facebook, so we'll have to find some type of medium where everybody can jump in and throw in and stuff like that, besides what we already have.
Yes.
So we'll get it all figured out as we get closer. Luckily, we've got some good friends and some good support going on into this group cruise, which, believe it or not, takes a lot of that stress off to realize that, we're not flapping in the wind on our own for opening our mouths. I blame you. Tiffany said, hey, go say this on the live. That'll work.
California Linda shares. We are not.
You're exactly who I was thinking about when I said that. I said, I know not everybody's on Facebook, so we won't put something specific over there on Facebook. I'm thinking here on YouTube is probably going to be the best option because we're definitely all here.
Yes.
And maybe once a month as we get closer, because we still got, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe one other day a week on a Sunday, we can do a short live if we have to, like a private live, something like that, because we can take lives, go private with them, and actually send out invites only, and it wouldn't even show up for the general public to hop on if we're doing group cruise specific only things. So we have lots of options, and we'll figure that out once we finally get some dang itinerary. So hopefully by next week, that is something we will be able to actually start looking at and going over some of those itineraries. Fingers crossed, but Carnival, of course, has not said when yet. They are just starting. All right, I think we are going to get ready to wrap this up. We have been on here an hour already, and that doesn't even include the 30-minute fun snafu we all had at the that Tiffany had at the beginning and created all this issue in the first place.
Yes.
Dang it, Tiffany.
I'm telling
Her job's IT. I don't know. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We really appreciate everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming back after that wonderful start that we have had this week. So hopefully that's not a prelude to anything else.
No, it's not.
It's not.
We're blaming the heat.
We're blaming the heat. Yeah, it's still really hot out there. But again, I want to thank everybody for joining us, everybody for hopping on. We really, really appreciate it. I said, fingers crossed next week, hopefully we'll have some more group cruise information. We can finally get to going down that road.
Yes.
I am damn excited.
Ellie says, everyone have a great night and week. Stay safe. Have a good week and a good night from California Linda.
Thank you, everybody. Like I said, we really appreciate it. I should have some cruise news back by Friday. I think Friday. One more day of rest in my throat. Be back, and of course, I'll have a video for Saturday. Can't skip a Saturday.
Chica says, look for an email from her.
Oh, awesome. Yep, I sure will. Yeah, that way we can cover all of that good stuff behind the scenes.
Yes.
So, all right, let's get off here. At some point, we have to stop. At some point, I actually have to go to bed. So, again, thank you, everybody. Love it. Appreciate everybody being here. The show, it would not be the same if it wasn't for everybody here. So, like always,
We'll see you out on the high seas.
good night, everybody.